As the U.S. continues to grapple with sending aid to Egypt following Mohamed Morsi's overthrow last month, Senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham are headed to Cairo. The two Republicans are said to be meeting with several high-profile figures in Egypt, including Interim President Adly Mansour and Interim Foreign Minister Nabil Fahmy. Unlike McCain's somewhat secret trip to Syria earlier this year to meet with rebel leaders, the two senators are headed to Egypt at the request of President Obama. There are reportedly two main goals for this trip. The first is looking for ways to halt the bloodshed. Since the military overthrew Morsi a month ago, more than 100 of the former president's supporters have been killed in clashes. One BBC analyst argues that returning to a peaceful form of negotiation is going to be difficult. Morsi's ousting sanctified the street as the main platform for politics, with force of numbers, rocks, tear gas, and bullets taking the place of rational debate. The other mission for the two senators is to determine whether Morsi was ousted by a coup. If so, it would be unlawful for the U.S. to send foreign aid to Egypt, meaning the longtime ally would no longer receive its annual $1.5 billion, mostly in military aid. Egypt has remained on good terms with the U.S. as it's one of the few Middle East countries that supports Israel. Graham recently mentioned that it will be his and McCain's duty to send a, quote, unified message that jailing the opposition is becoming more and more like a coup. But the South Carolina Republican has argued now isn't the time to cut off military aid to Egypt. McCain, on the other hand, has called for a suspension of that assistance, and while Graham has said he may come to support that position, he said he wants to see the situation firsthand. Telling reporters, "I'd like to go over there to find out what's going on the ground and send a clear message to the people in charge of Egypt that there are certain objections here in America that are bipartisan in nature." McCain and Graham are expected to spend 2 days in Cairo for the talks. For Newsy, I'm Elizabeth Hagedorn. Multiple sources, a broader view.